The luxury watch industry has long been synonymous with prestige, craftsmanship, and timeless appeal. For decades, these prestigious timepieces have adorned the wrists of the wealthy, signaling status and taste. But something remarkable is happening in this once untouchable industry. Even the most storied names in horology are finding themselves in an unprecedented situation, watching their customer base erode at an alarming rate. Today, we're going to examine 15 luxury watch brands that are losing customers fast and explore the complex factors behind this industry-wide upheaval. The entire luxury watch market is undergoing a seismic shift. According to recent market analysis, the industry saw its first major contraction in over a decade, with sales declining by nearly 15% across the board last year. This isn't just a temporary dip either. Multiple indicators suggest we're witnessing a fundamental restructuring of consumer preferences when it comes to luxury timepieces. The Apple Watch alone now outsells the entire Swiss watch industry combined, a statistic that would have been unthinkable just 10 years ago. Let's start with perhaps the most shocking entry on our list, Rolex. Yes, even the crown jewel of luxury watchmaking isn't immune to changing market dynamics. While Rolex remains profitable, their growth has significantly slowed, and they're facing unprecedented challenges in attracting younger buyers. The brand's waitlist strategy, once seen as brilliant marketing, has backfired spectacularly with millennial and Gen Z consumers who simply aren't willing to wait years for the privilege of spending 5 figures on a watch. Recent data shows first-time Rolex purchases among under 35 consumers have dropped by 22% since 2020. Rolex's rigid distribution model and reluctance to embrace digital sales channels have further alienated younger buyers accustomed to seamless online shopping experiences. When industry analysts conducted sentiment analysis on social media platforms, they found that Rolex is increasingly perceived as your grandfather's watch. Hardly the association a luxury brand wants in today's youth-driven marketplace. While Rolex remains enormously popular, these concerning trends suggest trouble ahead if the brand doesn't evolve its approach. Next up is Patek Philippe, perhaps the most prestigious name in traditional watchmaking. The Geneva-based manufacturer has built its reputation on exclusivity and heritage, with their famous advertising slogan suggesting you never actually own a Patek Philippe. You merely look after it for the next generation. However, that message is failing to resonate with modern consumers. The brand has seen a 17% decline in new customer acquisition over the past 3 years. Patek's challenges stem from several factors. Their extreme exclusivity has created an almost impenetrable barrier for new enthusiasts. Their most coveted models, like the Nautilus, command absurd premiums on the secondary market, creating frustration among potential buyers. Furthermore, Patek's strong association with traditional wealth signaling feels increasingly out of touch in a world where younger, affluent consumers often prefer to display their status through experiences rather than possessions. While Patek's timepieces remain masterpieces of horological art, the brand risks becoming a museum piece itself if it cannot connect with contemporary luxury consumers. Our third entry is TAG Heuer, a brand once synonymous with sporting prestige and accessible luxury. TAG has struggled mightily in recent years, with sales declining by over 25% since 2018. The brand finds itself in an increasingly precarious position, squeezed from below by fashion brands like Daniel Wellington and from above by more prestigious names like Omega. TAG's identity crisis has left consumers confused about what the brand stands for. Their attempt to enter the smartwatch category with the connected watch initially generated buzz but failed to establish TAG as a serious competitor in the space. Meanwhile, their traditional timepieces lack the heritage appeal of older luxury brands. TAG's celebrity endorsements, once a strength, now seem scattershot and fail to create a coherent brand image. Without a clear value proposition, TAG risks continuing to lose market share to both traditional competitors and tech giants like Apple. Fourth on our list is Breitling, the aviation-focused watchmaker known for their bold, masculine designs. Breitling has seen customer retention rates plummet by 31% over the past 5 years, according to industry data. The brand's hyper-masculine image, once its calling card, has become a liability in an era where gender-neutral design is increasingly valued in luxury goods. Breitling's aggressive marketing and oversized watches, often exceeding 44 millimeters, have limited their appeal to a narrowing demographic. Their attempts to pivot under new CEO George Kern have produced mixed results. While new collections like the Premier and Super Ocean have received critical acclaim, they haven't translated into sustained sales growth. Breitling's challenge is to honor its aviation heritage while creating products that appeal to contemporary tastes, a balancing act they've yet to master. Fifth is Omega, a brand with incredible heritage that has nonetheless seen its market share steadily erode. Despite the continued popularity of models like the Speed Master and Seamaster, Omega has struggled to convert one-time buyers into brand loyalists. Customer retention studies show that Omega purchasers are 38% more likely than Rolex owners to switch brands for their next luxury watch purchase. Omega's issues stem partly from their place in the Swatch Group portfolio, where they must maintain a price position below brands like Blancpain and Breguet. This creates a ceiling on how prestigious Omega can become. Additionally, Omega's extremely broad product range, with dozens of collections and hundreds of references, creates consumer confusion. While James Bond still wears an Omega, the brand's cultural relevance has waned as they've failed to establish meaningful connections with younger watch enthusiasts who prefer the exclusivity of brands like Rolex or the innovation of independent watchmakers. Coming in at number 6 is Panerai, a brand that experienced explosive growth in the early 2000s, only to face a dramatic reversal of fortune. Panerai's distinctive aesthetic, large cushion cases, and minimalist dials created a devoted following known as Paneristi. However, the brand's overexpansion has severely diluted its appeal. Sales have declined by 29% since their peak in 2014. Panerai's challenges include market saturation, with their once distinctive design language now widely copied. Their pivot to increasingly expensive pieces has alienated early supporters, while a lack of true innovation has failed to attract new customers. Panerai's association with action stars like Sylvester Stallone, once a strength, now feels dated rather than aspirational. The brand's Italian naval heritage, while interesting, hasn't been effectively communicated to new generations of watch buyers. Seventh on our list is Hublot, the controversial Swiss manufacturer known for their art of fusion approach and flashy designs. Hublot saw meteoric growth under Jean-Claude Biver's leadership, but that momentum has stalled dramatically. New customer acquisition has fallen by 41% since 2019, representing one of the steepest declines in the industry. Hublot's challenges are numerous. Their aggressive collaborations and limited editions, once novel, now appear desperate rather than exclusive. The brand's association with football, soccer, initially drove global awareness but failed to translate into lasting prestige. Perhaps most damaging is Hublot's reputation among serious watch collectors, who often dismiss the brand for prioritizing marketing over horological substance. While Hublot watches remain popular with certain athletes and entertainers, their appeal has narrowed rather than broadened over time. Our eighth entry is IWC Schaffhausen, the storied Swiss-German manufacturer known for their pilot watches and engineering excellence. Despite their impressive heritage and solid product lineup, IWC has seen consistent year-over-year declines in market share. Their once strong position in the mid to high luxury segment has been eroded by more nimble competitors. IWC's challenges include inconsistent marketing with frequent changes in direction diluting their brand identity. Their attempts to move up market have been only partially successful, creating confusion about the brand's positioning. Perhaps most concerning is IWC's failure to create emotional connections with consumers. Their technically excellent timepieces often lack the character and stories that drive passionate collecting. With competition intensifying in their core pilot watch category from both above and below, IWC faces difficult decisions about their future direction. Ninth is Jaeger-LeCoultre, often described as the watchmaker's watchmaker due to their technical expertise and in-house manufacturing capabilities. Despite producing some of the industry's most technically accomplished timepieces, JLC has seen its customer base contract by 23% over the past decade. The brand's master watchmaking is increasingly underappreciated in a market driven more by brand recognition than horological merit. JLC's problems include limited brand awareness outside enthusiast circles and a product lineup that, while excellent, lacks icons with immediate recognition. Their signature reverso model, while historically significant, hasn't achieved the cultural status of a Rolex Submariner or Omega Speedmaster. Additionally, JLC's positioning within the Richemont Group has sometimes seemed uncertain, leading to confusing price positioning and marketing strategies. Despite creating movements for many more famous brands, JLC struggles to translate their watchmaking prestige into consumer desire. At number 10 is Audemars Piguet, a brand that might surprise some by appearing on this list. While AP's Royal Oak remains one of the most coveted watches in the world, the brand is facing serious challenges in expanding beyond this single successful model. New product launches like the Code 11.59 collection were met with unprecedented consumer backlash, and customer data shows concerning trends in brand loyalty. AP's challenges include over-reliance on a single design, with the Royal Oak and its variants now representing over 90% of their sales. Their attempt to restrict distribution has backfired in some markets, creating frustration among potential customers. Perhaps most concerning is data showing that AP owners are increasingly likely to be speculators rather than enthusiasts, purchasing for investment rather than passion. While currently profitable, AP's narrow foundation makes it vulnerable to shifting tastes. 11th on our list is Vacheron Constantin, the oldest continuously operating watch manufacturer in the world. Despite their extraordinary heritage and technical mastery, Vacheron has struggled to connect with new generations of luxury consumers. Their customer demographic skews significantly older than competitors, with the average first-time buyer now over 50 years old. A concerning statistic for long-term viability. Vacheron's challenges include limited brand recognition outside traditional watch collecting circles and products that, while exquisite, often lack emotional appeal to younger buyers. Their marketing has emphasized technical excellence and history, rather than creating meaningful contemporary narratives. While Vacheron's timepieces remain among the finest in the world, the brand risks becoming increasingly niche without successful outreach to younger, affluent consumers. At number 12 is Ulysse Nardin, a brand with a rich maritime history that has struggled to maintain relevance in the modern luxury watch market. UN has seen its retail presence contract by over 35% in the past 5 years, with numerous authorized dealers dropping the brand due to slow turnover. Their bold design direction under previous leadership alienated traditional customers without successfully attracting new ones. Ulysse Nardin's challenges include inconsistent product strategy with dramatic shifts in design language, creating confusion about the brand's identity. Their early adoption of unusual materials like silicon was technically forward-thinking, but failed to create lasting consumer interest. Recent attempts to reconnect with their marine chronometer heritage have shown promise, but haven't yet reversed the brand's declining fortunes. Without clearer positioning and more compelling storytelling, UN risks continuing to lose ground to more focused competitors. 13th is Blancpain, a brand revived in the 1980s after disappearing during the quartz crisis. Despite creating one of the industry's most influential luxury dive watches, the 50 Fathoms, Blancpain has struggled to build a broader identity. Their customer base has contracted by 19% since 2017, with particular weakness in the crucial North American and Chinese markets. Blancpain's challenges include limited model recognition beyond the 50 Fathoms and an overall aesthetic that, while elegant, often lacks distinctiveness. Their positioning within the Swatch Group portfolio sometimes appears redundant alongside sister brands like Omega and Breguet. While Blancpain's watchmaking credentials are beyond reproach, they've struggled to translate technical excellence into compelling consumer propositions. Without stronger differentiation, Blancpain risks further market share erosion. Our 14th entry is Girard-Perregaux, a manufacturer with over 230 years of history that nonetheless finds itself at a crossroads. GP has experienced one of the industry's most dramatic contractions, with global sales declining by over 40% in the past decade. Despite creating iconic designs like the Three Bridges tourbillon, the brand has failed to achieve lasting resonance with luxury consumers. Girard-Perregaux's challenges include frequent changes in ownership and direction, creating discontinuity in product development and marketing. Their attempts to establish themselves in the sports luxury segment with the Laureato collection have been overshadowed by more established competitors. Perhaps most concerning is GP's retreat from key global markets, with their retail presence now significantly reduced in regions like North America. Without substantial reinvestment and clearer brand positioning, GP faces an uncertain future. Finally, at number 15 is Zenith, a brand with extraordinary technical heritage that has nonetheless struggled to find its place in the modern luxury landscape. Despite creating groundbreaking movements like the El Primero, the first fully integrated automatic chronograph, Zenith has seen its market position steadily erode, with particularly concerning performance in the crucial entry-level luxury segment. Zenith's challenges include inconsistent brand direction, with frequent strategic pivots creating confusion about their identity. Their attempts to leverage their El Primero heritage have been only partially successful, as younger consumers show limited interest in mechanical accomplishments from the 1960s. Recent collections like the Defi have received critical acclaim but haven't generated sufficient commercial success. As part of the LVMH group, Zenith must find a clearer position alongside sister brands Tag Heuer and Hublot. So what's really happening in the luxury watch industry? Several fundamental shifts help explain why even the most prestigious brands are struggling. First, the rise of smartwatches has fundamentally changed consumer expectations about what a wrist-worn device should do. When an Apple Watch offers health monitoring, communication, and perfect timekeeping for a fraction of the price, mechanical watches must justify their existence on different terms. Second, younger affluent consumers display dramatically different luxury purchase patterns than previous generations. They're less interested in traditional status symbols and more focused on experiences and products that align with their values. Sustainability, ethical production, and authentic storytelling matter more than heritage or exclusivity alone. Third, the traditional distribution model for luxury watches has collapsed. Gray market dealers offering substantial discounts have undermined official retail networks, while the pandemic accelerated the shift to digital sales, an area where most traditional watch brands remain woefully behind. Finally, there's been a significant power shift toward independent watchmakers. Brands like FP Journe, H, Moser & C, and MB&F have captured the imagination of enthusiasts by offering creativity, transparency, and direct relationships that traditional brands struggle to match. The luxury watch industry isn't dying, it's transforming. Brands that successfully navigate this transition will emerge stronger, while those that cling to outdated business models and messaging will continue to lose relevance. For consumers, this period of disruption offers both challenges and opportunities. With more choices, better value, and more authentic connections available to those who know where to look. What do you think about the future of luxury watches? Are there brands you've lost interest in, or new ones that have captured your attention? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this exploration of the changing landscape of luxury timepieces, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks for watching.